Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the owners of a rehab facility in Moorhead are facing serious charges after their house was raided. And Kentucky's counter-drug program will continue thanks to a green light from the governor.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:30 on Friday, May 24th. Now let's go ahead and send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. 61 degrees outside our door here at WYMT. Fog not too far away, dense fog as well, and it's widespread the further northwest and southwest you go. From hazard, visibility is less than a mile at a lot of locations. No dense fog advisories for eastern and southern Kentucky, but as you make your way out of Rowan County up toward Maysville and then Lexington and Columbia points west, that's where we find the dense fog advisory in effect until mid-morning for central Kentucky. In the meantime, a lot of us are in the 60s waking up this morning, and yes, the satellite radar composite showing some showers. Those of you watching from Logan and out toward the rest of southern portions of West Virginia, you'll end up seeing that come to an end over the next couple of hours, and we all trend to becoming partly sunny and feeling humid today. The risk of a pop-up shower or thunder showers we head through the afternoon, the high in hazard up near 80. More about your First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia.
All right, Tim, thank you. Kentucky State Police honored 37 fallen troopers, officers, and patrolmen at the annual KSP Memorial Ceremony in Frankfort. 37 names were read to remember officers who died in the line of duty. The officers were remembered for their service to communities. Creator of the Fallen Heroes Wreath program, Michelle Pulaski, says they want to ensure their names are not forgotten.
It is said our heroes died twice. Once when their last breath is taken from them, and again when their name is spoken for the last time.
Since last year's memorial service, 2 state troopers have died outside of the line of duty and were also honored at the ceremony. We now know the owners of a Kentucky drug rehab facility are facing charges related to child pornography. According to the Rowan County Detention Center, John and Mira Elam are both charged with possession of matter portraying sexual performance by a minor under 12 years old and possession of matter portraying sexual performance by a minor under 18 years old. John faces an additional charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Moorhead resident Gail Hall says the news does not come as a surprise to her.
I knew it was coming. I mean, anybody that comes out in this area, you know, it's a tight-knit area. We know everybody. I don't even live here, but I know everybody. And that's bad news.
This isn't the first arrest for either suspect. Back in January, the Department of Justice announced they reached a $2.2 million settlement agreement with Edgewater for False Claims Act violations. And in February, the Ellams were arrested in Bath County for charges related to operating a motor vehicle under the influence and public intoxication. Governor Andy Beshear has given the green light for Kentucky's counter-drug program to continue its operations. In 2023, the program facilitated the seizure of 265,000 fentanyl pills. So far in 2024, the team has seized more than 86,000 fentanyl pills and made 64 arrests. Yesterday, Governor Beshear signed the fiscal year 2025 state drug interdiction and counter-drug activities plan, highlighting the program's effectiveness in disrupting drug flow and enhancing public safety. A state investigation is pending in the death of 2 Campbell County, Tennessee inmates. It happened just over a month ago, but the mother of one of those inmates who died at the jail is still searching for answers. Faith Evans died in the jail. The second inmate, too, died in 10 days. Her mother, Phyllis Evans, says it has been a frustrating time for waiting for answers as they continue to grieve.
She was just a sweet, kind person that would do anything, to help anybody. And it torments me every day. I mean, it's tore this whole family apart, trying to figure out what happened.
Evan says her daughter leaves behind a 5-year-old son. She says the situation is a nightmare and she is never going to get over it. A Corbin man was charged with falsely reporting an incident on Wednesday. Police responded to a complaint of someone threatening people in a neighborhood. Police later determined the complaint filed by Marion Roden was false. Roden was charged with falsely reporting an incident and falsely identifying himself. Roden was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. A woman was charged in Mingo County, West Virginia after police say they found her carrying drugs. Crystal Adkins was arrested on Wednesday. Police charged her with possession of fentanyl and cocaine. Adkins was also charged with obstructing an officer. A man reported missing in Laurel County on Wednesday has been found. Police say Austin Kidd was located on Thursday. Kidd was reported missing after police say he was last seen on May 17th. A chemistry teacher was arrested in Oldham County for a school shooting threat. According to Michael Tripp's arrest citation, he told a group of students that he only has a few days left to shoot up the school. Police say he admitted talking about school shootings. They charged him with terroristic threatening. Ahead of Memorial Day weekend, officials say it is important to be aware that Memorial Day could trigger those who have been on active duty or have lost someone in the military. According to the National Institute of Health, 41% of veterans were found to have a potential need for mental health care. Psychiatrist at Med Center Health in Bowling Green, Dr. Sean Brown, says it is important to be vigilant of your surroundings and empathize with those who may be affected.
A lot of these vets come back from over many years with depression, anxiety, PTSD, sleep disturbance, you name it, not to mention substance abuse problems. So this has to be taken into account with this as well. Not only their accomplishments, but their continued stabilization and prosperity.
Veterans who are seeking help can call the Veterans Crisis Line by dialing 988 and pressing 1, or they can visit their local Veterans Affairs Clinic. AAA says 11% of Kentuckians will take to the roads this weekend. As we head toward the lakes and beaches, it's important to be mindful of animals on the road. Thomas Young with Kentucky Fish and Wildlife says there's no shortage of critters that could be on the roadways this summer. Though he adds the bigger concerns are foxes, turtles, and deer, and maybe a few bears around here.
And so if you can just slow down, if at all possible, give the animal enough time to get across the roadway or, whatever, issue you're with that animal. But that's probably the best scenario, is just give them some space and give them some time.
Kentucky Fish and Wildlife says if you can safely do so, it is okay to move turtles from one side of the road to the other, but it's important to remember they need to remain outdoors. The Truck Safety Coalition is working to raise awareness about crashes involving large trucks in Kentucky. According to the TCS, truck crash deaths have increased by an astonishing 88% in Kentucky during the past 10 years. The TCS worked with Lexington Police yesterday on how to cut down on these crashes. They say the statistics surrounding these large truck crashes are troubling.
This comes from the real world, and not enough is being done to address the problem.
Lexington Police say some of their officers are certified commercial vehicle inspectors and work to make sure the trucks on the road are as safe as possible. The race for the Democratic nomination in the 6th Congressional District went down to the wire. Ballots were counted Tuesday night, but the Associated Press called the winner on Thursday afternoon. It shows Randy Cravens of Madison County winning by just 201 votes.
It's an indication of the strength of the party. I think that we're offering up better and more diverse candidates, and we gave the people of the 6th District a lot to pick from.
There have been some questions on if a re-canvass will take place because of the closeness of this race, but Randy Cravens and Todd Kelly both say they believe it's likely not going to change the outcome of the way it looks now. Adams says a re-canvass is simply adding up the totals again, but history shows it's doubtful a different winner would be declared. And when we return, we'll take a look at the story that grabbed golfers' attention around the world.
And who's ready for the weekend? Got a slow start to get you out the door on a Friday. Unfortunately, dense fog across a good portion of the Commonwealth this morning. Details about this and the holiday weekend forecast as your WYMT Mountain Morning News continues after the break.